is a real rock star from his side, but he really believes and he's very passionate about just exactly what Mike was talking about. So we were just sitting over here and we thought, let's bring Genn out, because it really is expanding upon the same excitement as to why he's excited, why he's here. And again, if you could, Genn, tell him what you've been able to do just in the last few weeks.
Hey guys, so wow, Coeur d'Alene is an awesome place. I've never been here before. First time. Normally in this industry you tend to go to Utah. It's refreshing to come up here. So yeah, I've been in the business for about probably 8 or 9 weeks right now. So, oh no, sorry, 10 or 11 weeks right now. And it has been crazy. You know, like I have to charge my phone like 4 or 5 times in a day. And you know, I'm always having to reply texts and stuff like that. But I think maybe you guys want to hear what I've been doing, and you know, maybe if that would work for you guys, that would be great as well. Because you know, we're one big family, right? And wherever we grow worldwide, it's just better for all of us. Yeah. So a lot of people ask me like, how many people do I sponsor? And to be honest, right now, I've sponsored 10 people. That's it. You know, I don't go out and sponsor just anyone. You know, when I want to sponsor someone, it's got to be someone that I like. Not to be partial to anyone, but you know, if you're going to be working with that person a lot and he's going to be calling you in the middle of the night, you better like him, right? Otherwise, you see his call at 1 o'clock in the morning, I can't log in my back office. You're like, oh. Yeah, so that's what I look for first. And second, of course, is that person's got to be hungry. And how do you know all of this? Well, one of the ways that I recruit, and some of my guys recruit as well, is we send out text messages. And we send them out. You know, you guys have WhatsApp. I don't know if you guys have used this. A lot of you guys use the chat group, yeah, groups, but you can use broadcast lists as well. The broadcast list means you can send it out to multiple people, and when they reply, it replies individually. And that's good, because you know, sometimes when you do chat groups, and you send out a message to them, and then there's one bad egg in that group, and you're like, oh, that's a scam. Oh, it's not a pyramid. And you know, that just puts everyone off. So with broadcast, you know, they get it individually, and when they reply, even if it's a negative reply, no one else sees it either. So we do that, and we send it out to 10 people. And, you know, initially when I did it, I started out in my little city, and I sent it out to 10 people. And we're talking about 10 people that I've worked with before, people who've made money with me. And I sent it out to them. And you know what? The good thing about WhatsApp is when they've read it, you get 2 ticks, right? And it's blue, so you know they've read it. But you know what? None of them replied to me. I was like, really? Like, we've had good relationships in the past. You've made money working with me, and no reply? I was like, man, okay, well, it's not an emotional process, right? So I blast it out to another 10, no reply. Send it out to another 10. One guy replied. And that guy, you know, he's a good friend of mine because we've worked together, but he's never really made that much before. I think the most he's made doing networking was probably about $2,000 a month, you know, which is not much in our industry. And but he was hungry, you know, and I said to him, all right, bro, well, if you're going to run with it, then I'm not going to recruit anyone else. I'll just work with you. So that's my deal. If you know, you're ready to go with it, I'll work with you, make you successful, and I probably won't recruit anyone else from your city. And so he started out, and right now, out of that city, we've got a total of 4 senior directors just in that city. Wow. Yeah. So that's going to be really, really big. And then after that, I started the Philippines as well. And in the Philippines, the lady that I work with there is partners with Alex over there with the camera. Okay, and you know, I just sponsored her, just that one person, and I just worked with her, and she's a senior director already as well. And in Singapore as well, I sponsored. Okay, well, Singapore was a bit of a different story. What happened over there? And this will give you a scenario as well as to sometimes when you sponsor someone, they don't do much. So I sponsored someone in Singapore, and he didn't really do anything. So I said to him, okay, well, you know, I'm not here to force you. I'm not here to motivate you either. I'm here to work with you if you want. But when you want to engage, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm just going to let you know, take your time, but I'm going to sponsor someone else who wants to work with me right now. Because I'm ready to go now, right? Just like you guys are. So what I did was I sent another text message to a couple of people. No, they really wanted to engage. So went onto Facebook, chatted with a few people there, found one really exciting guy, and was it yesterday? Desmond? So yesterday he's a senior director, so we got a senior director out of Singapore as well. So that's just what I do, guys. I just work with people who want to work. You know, I never convince, because I think convincing is tiring. It's a never-ending process. You convince them to join. You convince them to upgrade. You convince them to go from manager, founder, 3,000, and it never ends. And that's just one person. So how are you going to hit 20 people and hit, senior executive? You'll never do it. You get burned out. So I never convince, and I always tell my guys, don't convince them. Just give them the information. Everyone needs to grow up. They can decide on their own. And that's basically what's working for us. So if you like it, try it out, and hopefully it works for you guys too. Yeah. What am I sending them? Sorry. What do I send them in the text? Basically, I send them the video, the enterprises video. I would say that this is something that's going to play on Bloomberg, Fox TV. It's not out yet. Basically we're kind of like in Mark Zuckerberg's dorm room right now. It's a new app, that's going to launch. You can make money from it, even if you are a free user. So that's what I send them, real quick. And then I normally wait for 3 questions. That's, to show that they're interested. So when they ask one question, I won't give them a whole seminar. If they ask, oh, so how much is it to join? $49, just one sentence. When they ask me 3 questions, and I've answered the 3 questions, and they keep on asking more, that's when I say, you know what, why don't I let you come by to a session we have, and you can get all your questions answered. So basically that's a presentation. So that's how I funnel these guys into that. Because you guys think about it, when you bought your car, when you bought your cell phone, you definitely asked the sales guy at least 3 questions right before you bought it. And so that's how you know that the guy's interested. Because sometimes if they just ask it, it's something just to make conversation. But if they're not interested, they won't ask the questions.
So Genn, out of those few weeks that you've been in it, what's your 10 people turned into? Roughly.
Probably, you mean paid users or free users?
Total.
Probably about just under 7,000 people. So I've been blessed to work with good people, and I believe all of you guys here are great people, and you deserve good people in your team as well. So don't worry about the people who say no to you and stuff like that. They'll come around. In one of my trainings that I do, we call it the pickle list. And someone, if they're not interested, or even after their presentation they say no, that's fine. Just get them to join as a free affiliate anyways, and say, you know what, don't worry about paying the $49. Just come in, put your info down, so that when the app launches, you can be the first in the door to get it. And then after that, I put them in the pickle list. Now, what's the pickle list? Very simple. Pickle list is, you know how you make pickles. You chop them up, put them there, and you leave them be. So that's what you do. That's precisely what you do. And that's an issue that a lot of people don't get, because you think, oh, he wasn't interested last month. I'll give him a month, and I'll call him back. No, that's bad. And that's why in the industry, we have a lot of people, sometimes, and we've all had that friend. That friend calls you and you're like, oh my God, it's the MLM dude. And then he's probably 2 tables away and he's like, bro, I was calling you, what happened? I'm like, oh man. You don't want to be, treated like that. And I believe, in our industry, we're professionals, right? So we act professionally. Which means if I see a guy who's in my pickle list, we'll talk about anything and everything except for my business, which he turned down. Because you turn down a business, I'm not here to convince you, remember. But one thing I can tell you about the pickle list is some of these guys will come back to you. And, in the olden days, you'd have to drive your Mercedes by his house and doot. But now with social media, you don't have to do that. You just post a picture. You get a bunch of wow, so that's a new car. So that's, anything else you guys want to ask me?
Brilliant.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And,
Thank you.
Hey, I wanted to bring at least one other person up here, and then I want to make sure I haven't forgotten anybody. But I want Von Turber. Von Turber. Von Turber. Have I ever called you Von Turber before?
No, that's actually the
That's a
nicest
new one.
thing you've called.
I got to tell you, talk about a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. I met Vaughn a year ago, and it was a friend of a friend of a friend. But Vaughn brought some other people, some other friends that he knew. I think one of them was Todd, and I don't know if Todd wants to go here or not. Or Todd. I was getting those two guys.
TNT.
I don't know if you want to bring Todd up here tonight or not. I'll leave that up to you. But Vaughn knew this guy named Todd, who knew this guy named Genn that you just got heard from. So it's that friend of a friend of a friend thing. That's the industry that we're in. It's kind of pretty cool. Because 2 years ago, 18 months ago, I didn't know this guy. But he's a great guy. We talk on the phone. It's kind of embarrassing. every day now. Sometimes I end up talking to him when I talk to my wife, for crying out loud. She's like, this is one guy talking to all the time. Juan's a great guy. He's out of Austin, Texas. He's been around the industry for decades. Long time. Longer than I have, but he's a hoot. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. He's about the most laid-back person I've ever been around, but he is tenacious. He's been in the industry for a long time. He knows a lot. A guy that I think any one of us could learn a lot from. So if you guys want to hang out with somebody tonight, in addition to Gene, I think Vaughn should be on your list too. Vaughn, you got anything you want to come up here and
Sure,
say?
I'll say a few words.
Say something.
If y'all think you can understand me. Oh, how's everybody tonight? Is this not pretty cool? You know what's neat about this is, you know, you guys here, you know how hard it was for me not to say y'all?
Say
I mean,
it.
really, I was struggling with it.
Say
It came out, you guys.
Y'all is
You guys have, it's so special because you're right here at the home office. I mean, people sit there and go, well, yeah, they're successful. They're right there, you know, and that's you're talking about. And something I'd like to make you aware of everybody that's come up here tonight. It's pretty cool. How is this all put together, and why are the people that are here tonight, are they here? Everybody here brings something different to the table. Everybody has different qualities. And you bring that together, and this is what you've got. It's really special. And you're probably sitting there going, well, what does the master distributor do? Well, actually, Ted chose me for this position. It's a hard position. They have me up here for one reason. Because you look at me and you say, if this guy can make a nickel, I'm going to be rich. that's all I'm here for. I'm the token guy. And then I think there was a lady back there and said, well, what's your pitch? What do you say? What's your elevator pitch? And we need to put this one on the elevator pitch. Up here in Coeur d'Alene, y'all have fairy tales, right? How do they begin? Once upon a time. You know how they start out in Texas? Sit down, Bubba, you ain't gonna believe this. And I ain't kidding. I mean, Ted, when I talked to you, how about you, Todd? When I called you that night, back 14 months ago, and said, dude, you're not gonna believe this. It was pretty exciting. And to see it come to this level is so exciting, and to know that we have it. And I can tell you that the people I talk to across the globe today, not one person has said, I'm not interested. It may not be the right timing, or they may want us to be, you know, one or two steps further or what, but they're all coming. And we're the group that's here that started it. It's a pleasure. I always tell Mike when we talk that this group right here in Coeur d'Alene is the rock of our company. And I want to say thank you for you guys staying in here and being a part of this. And sure is good to have all your partners. Another thing I want to say to you is you'll always know this about me. And I never speak to people about being in my upline or my downline or my sideline. We're all partners, and this is a great group of partners. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, talking about that local group, I got to tell you, I know I'm leaving a few of you out, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention someone that actually kind of took me up on an offer I made, I think, to all of you a while back. When this corporate, when the guys aren't all here, you know, having these summits and stuff, this place can sometimes look like a little bit like a ghost town. And I made the offer. I said, look, we've got offices all around here. If somebody is in a position in life where they really want to take this to the next level and come down here and work out of one of these offices, man, the door's open, and that offer still stands. But one gal took me up on that. I mean, timing was just right for her, and you know, life works different ways sometimes, but it worked for her. And she decided to come down here, and it just turned into a sponge. And you know, sometimes one of those questions you want to ask your friends when they say, man, I think I want to come hang out with you. I think I want to come do what you're doing because you look like you're having a lot of fun. I think one of the first questions you want to ask them is, are you coachable? Are you coachable? And you know, most people say, well, yeah, I'm coachable, until you spend about 10 minutes with them. Does anybody else experience that problem? And Jerry? I thought, you deal with those people. I thought you were saying, you heard that person? I thought Jerry's going, yeah, that's me. No, but you really want somebody that's coachable. And Angela came in here and just, I have to tell a story about her yesterday, because we did a three-way phone call. You guys know what that is, three-way phone call? That's where you've got somebody that's right on the edge, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm convincing anybody, but sometimes they just need to hear the story from somebody else. So Angela came in and said, you know, this guy's already in the program, and he's kind of struggling a little bit. You think we could talk to him together? And she put him on a speakerphone, and she let me talk, which is usually what we want to do when you're having a three-way phone call. If you invite a friend to come talk to somebody for edification, let that person talk, because you can talk to him later, right? So Angela just sat there, and you know, she's really funny. She doesn't take notes. She doesn't have her video camera going or anything. But yet, an hour later, when I was walking by her office, the words that were coming out of her mouth sounded extremely familiar. A sponge. She just took in everything that I said to this guy, and what did Jay say when he got done watching the roadmap webinar after we got done talking to him? Did he sleep last night? He's not sleeping. And that's what you want. You want people that aren't sleeping anymore.